to Istanbul, a city of trade and success, where a magic and old legend comes to life. It's a place where East meets West, and very part of the city tell us a unique story. From this special place that feels like the heart of the world, I warmly welcome you in my name and on behalf of my beloved country, Libya, a land of generosity, warmth, and hospitality. There is all. Today we are meeting at an important investment event with one of the oldest oil sector in the world, National Oil Corporation. I hope you have a wonderful and successful experience. We are truly glad to have you with us. Once again, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kaderba. And we will continue with the Chairman CEO, Mr. Masoud Suleiman, to take the stage to also give us a couple of opening remarks. Mr. Suleiman, this was better. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you today in this special event on behalf of myself and my team of leading experts from the National Oil Corporation. I would like to express our deepest gratitude for the warm welcome we have received since arriving this country, a country we have always considered our second home. We are all well aware of the profound historical ties between Libya and Turkey, as well as the extensive cooperation and mutual interest shared between our two nations across numerous fields and sectors. In fact, these figures would be nearly impossible. Their depth and significance go far beyond simple description. Ladies and gentlemen, over a month ago, we launched an open bidding round offering global oil and gas companies a significant opportunity to invest in Libya, especially in exploration and development across vast and highly promising areas. As you know, Libya has a vast geographical area and one of the longest coastal lines in the North Africa along the Mediterranean Sea, beneath which lies trillions of tons of oil and gas reserves. Today, here in this welcoming country, we present you with a valuable opportunity to participate in this venture. We are deeply committed to forming new, strong partnerships between our oil companies and their counterparts around the world without exceptions, because we firmly believe in the huge mutual benefits that will arise from such collaborations. These partnerships will pave the way for promising future ventures across 22 exploration sites, 11 onshore and 11 offshore, offered under flexible contractual terms that differ from the previous EPSA model. Our terms prioritize the interests of our partners, ensuring strong cooperation as we work together to meet the growing global demand for oil and gas. We also aim to collaborate in the exchange of expertise, knowledge, and data. The Libyan oil sector is undergoing comprehensive development across all fronts and is more focused than ever on strengthening its ties with the global oil industry, particularly in sharing expertise with leading international companies in oil technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, we extend our hands to you, ready for meaningful discussions on the sidelines of this meeting. You are welcome here as a partner and as a friend at any time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. These were beautiful words about collaboration, about the historical ties between the two countries, and a very highly anticipated round. Thank you very much. I would also like to open the floor to His Excellency Minister of Oil and Gas, Mr. Dr. Khalif Abdul Sadek, to join us with his opening remarks. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, welcome to Istanbul, a city that stands at the crossroad of continents and the cultures and a significant hub for global trade and energy. Your presence here today highlights the importance of this event for Libya and for our international partners. Globally, we live in increasingly uncertain and challenging times. We are all looking to invest in initiatives in the context of the climate change, but there is also a widely increased need for oil and gas as a main source of energy. Its support of living standards and global economy. Ladies and gentlemen, Libya lies close to Europe, an important economic and trading bloc, as well as many emerging markets. Our country holds vast oil and gas reserves, stand as one of the biggest reserves in Africa in oil, and probably the third one in gas. Notably, gas resources and some discovered, much to be discovered, the combination of strategic geographical location and the scale of the resources that our country holds positions us as a vital player in the energy sector of the world. Today marks a unique opportunity as we are launching a new bid round for exploration and production in Libya's most important sedimentary basin, Sirte Basin, the hub for Libya oil and gas industry, Gdamis Basin, as well as Murzik Basin, and the best yet to come, probably in Kufra Basin at some point of time. This is the first such a bid round in the past 17 years, featuring new and attractive contractual terms for investors. Ladies and gentlemen, over the recent past, we have been witnessing stability in our country, Libya. This is crucial for encouraging investors to come and do business with us, allowing foreign companies to resume their exploration activities in our country, and this stability is foundation for building prosperous energy sector for our country and for the rest of the world, of course. I extend an open invitation to all of you here today from Istanbul to invest in our beloved country, Libya, and to contribute to the realization of our vision for the oil and gas sector, which ultimately would benefit all parties. I would like to thank you for your participation today. Your presence reflects the importance of this event for Libya and for our international partners from all around the globe. Together, let us embark on this journey towards a sustainable and prosperous energy future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. That was also a very beautiful message about the future of Libya. I want to share with you a quote that I heard on the phone when I was speaking with a foreign company about the bid round. I said, well, please come to Istanbul. We will have the bid round of Libya. He said, well, there is no better time to invest in Libya than now. Everything is favorable. So I want to follow up with your message with this side information. I hope that everyone here will now pay attention to the technical presentations. And again, any questions that you want to gather, we have a Q&A session at the very, very end. Okay, everyone's ready. I'm glad. I like the smiles. Before that, we would like to have the video from the team to prep everyone and put you in the mood. And we will continue with one more introduction and they'll take it from there.
The Libyan oil and gas industry, driving economic growth and energy security. The oil and gas industry remains the cornerstone of Libya's economy, pivotal to national development and global energy supply. Strategic Roadmap. Our strategic roadmap aims to rejuvenate mature fields, enhance production capacity, and diversify our energy mix. With a targeted oil production of over 2 million barrels per day within the next 3 years, we are focused on redeveloping brownfields, which contain significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to boost output. Which contain significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to boost output. Which contain significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to boost output. Which contain significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to boost output. Which contain significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to boost output. Which contains significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to buy which contains significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to buy significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to buy significant oil reserves and offer substantial opportunities to buy maximize resource development and ensure stability.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Dear distinguished guests, welcome to this roadshow for the Libya 2025 Bid Round. We value your presence and recognize all of you as partners. One of our collective goals is to increase hydrocarbon reserves to meet global energy demand. Before delving into the details, what shaped the bid round to come to this stage today, I would like to give you a brief about the process we carried out to reach this stage. Historically, NOC has implemented various contractual and legal terms for contracting bid rounds. At the same time, we established a rigorous scheme to find the criteria by which we select the areas to be included. The factors such as regional distribution, geology, area size, existing discoveries, and the proximity to existing infrastructure. This led to the selection of 22 offshore and onshore blocks, some of which include prior discoveries. To facilitate data evaluation and interpretation, all pertinent data and information for these blocks, including seismic data, well logs, and reports, have been carefully gathered, validated, and quality controlled. This comprehensive data set is now accessible for you to review and interpret through a secure virtual data room. In addition, a dedicated portal has been developed for this bid round. Registration is now open, providing access to all relevant information and documents. The preparation of this bid round has been a collaborative effort. I would like to acknowledge the guidance and the support of our industry leaders and the dedication of our team members, both who are present today with us and those who are supporting and still continuing back home. Today we are going to take you through what we think have covered all the aspects of the bid round. But just in case, During the follow-up of the presentation, if you think that certain point that needs further clarification, please make a note, and after that we will address it in the Q&A session. So my colleagues now will start to do the process of the interpretation according to the agenda, which is displayed now in the screen. The first slide will summarize the journey that took us to reach this stage. The first one is where we did some sort of review, analysis, investigation about what is the right suitable scheme for the contractual terms for this bid round. At the same time, we were doing that in parallel to select the right areas to be included in this bid round. So then finally we reached the final stage where we have 22 blocks selected and the VDR created and the data being loaded in very robust, very well standard platform, accessible from day one, set up to do quick QC, plus the download of the data for further investigation in-house, plus the creation of the portal that's now being used and working very active for the exchange of information and uploading the data and some sort of clarification. This journey took us about 16 months, which we feel that it is very reasonable time to come up with this bid round where we started almost everything from scratch as new. Now I will invite my colleague Hatem to go through the presentation according to this arrangements. Hatem, please. Oh, Bashir. Sorry. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here today in this important evening, the fourth roadshow event for this bid round. My name is Bashir Musbah. I am NOC Exploration Advisor and the technical team leader for this bid round. I will take you through the presentation starting from the agenda as presented by my colleague Dr. Nasser, the bid round introduction. I will present to you the NOC vision and strategy and also the status of the Libyan exploration and production activity and also the Libyan basin in order of the petroleum system and the players. My colleague Hatem will take you through the offered license for this bid round, and then the final part will be covered by my colleague Muhammad, and he will take you through the new BSA physical model and the bid round schedule and process, and conclude with the winner selection criteria. The NOC vision for the next 3 years is to produce 2 million barrels of oil per day. And for the sustainability and the environment, NOC is highly committed to the environment and making that the biggest responsibility, and also helping or working on a sustainable future. For the partnership is to build the strategic partnership with the rest of the world and also provide cost-effective energy solution for its customers. For the exploitation of the resources, this will be done through the creativity and innovation and also making a positive impact locally and globally. For the strategic focus, for the motivating the exploration, this to focus in the medium high-risk areas, especially in the deep and offshore and also in the frontier area. For the development is to focus on the undeveloped discovery, especially for the small and margin greenfields, and also implement the IOR and the EUR techniques. For the technology implementation is to work closely with the state-of-the-art technology providers. For the clean, sustainable energy, NOC is thinking highly and positively for tomorrow by adopting or change in the whatever changing in the energy and also to support the local community and take care of the environment. And this will be done by eliminating the oil leakage, utilizing the renewable energy, and also to achieve its target to go for the zero gas flaring, plus also planting 1 million trees. For the current active operator, we have in country 18 active operators. They are active in the 167 contractual blocks distributed in the offshore and the onshore area. These, in total, they are cover about 0.4 million square kilometer. For the infrastructure, Libya has got very well-connected infrastructure. About 6,000 kilometers of the pipelines for oil and 3,200 kilometers of gas pipelines, plus 7 export, 6 export terminal, distributed along the coastal area from the west to the east, plus also the green streamline to export the gas to Europe, plus also the facility close by or for the where the existed producing fields. In terms of the exploration performance and activity, so far since the 1956, more than 3,000 wells has been drilled, making a successful well for the exploration about 951. This making a success rate up to 33%, which is above the average world, percentage, which is 21. As you see here, the area covered, in the previous slide, it is only 0.4 square million across the country, and we still need aggressive drilling campaign, in fact, to fulfill or to do more exploration covering the rest of the area. In terms of the activity for the drilling, especially the exploration and the appraisal wells, we have 43 rigs now active in country, plus also 76 drilling rigs for the workover. For the oil and gas production, the current production now rate is 1.4 million barrels of oil per day. As I mentioned, NOC target is to go for the 2 million barrels of oil per day, and this, in fact, was achievable, in fact, during the different stages, from 1960 up to now. For the gas, Libya also more than 79 TCF of gas reserve, and the first plant of the energy was in Marcel Brega in 1970, and as you can see here from this chart, the gradual increase of the gas production from the 1970 till 2024. NOC target for the gas is to achieve the production of 4 billion cubic feet per day. This is just a summary about the sedimentary basin and their potential in the country. And the offshore area, Libya has got 5 sedimentary basins. To the west, Ghadames and Murzuk. In the middle, Sirte Basin. Southeast is Kofra, and the northeast is Cyrenaica Platform. For the offshore area, we have 3 sub-basins, Sabrata offshore, and also Sirte offshore, which is the extension of the Sirte onshore, and also we have the Cyrenaica offshore. These, they hold a reserve of more than 50 billion barrels of oil and 79 TCF of gas. These basins, they are, in terms of the maturity, is from the category of the emerging to a frontier area. And for example, the CERT and the Tanzift petroleum system are ranked the 10th and 17th among the 20 to 100 billion barrel of oil equivalent recoverable category. Just to focus on the onshore petroleum system, we have, as you see here from the stratigraphic columns, 6 proven petroleum systems. They range in age between the Silurian to the tertiary time, and also they hold about 50 blaze, different reservoir, classic carbonate and fracture basement, multiple source rock, cap rock, structure and stratigraphic and combined traps, plus also the hydrocarbon charge from the Carboniferous time to the recent. This is just, showing the maturity map for the source rock for the different basins in the onshore area. The western one is showing the distribution of the Tanzift hot shale for the Ghadames and the Morzik, and the maturity as the different in color from dark to light, and also for the for Sirti basin, the Sirti shale, and also for the Cyrenaica. And this also showed here the link or the extension of the source rock of the Sirti shale maturity to the offshore area. For the offshore petroleum system, we have a 5 proven petroleum system distributed in the 3 sub-basins, Sabrata, Sirt, and Cyrenaica. Also, they range from Silurian to the tertiary time, with a stacked proven and potential in the 3 different sub-basins. This is an example from the ongoing study now by NOC. This is just summarizing the maturity map for a different sub-basin to the west and in the middle, Sirti offshore and the Cyrenaica offshore. In total, the estimated oil and gas delivered to the blaze is more than 30 billion barrels of oil equivalent. For example, for Sabrata, estimated number to be up to 10 billion barrels of oil equivalent, and for Sirt sub-basin, 12 billion barrels of oil equivalent, and for the Cyrenaica part is estimated to be something like 9 billion barrels of oil. Now I will let my colleague Hatem just to start with you and present the new overhead exploration area for this bid round.
Thank you, Bashir. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to share with you insights and perspective of a unique and highly attractive portfolio of exploration and development opportunities offered by NOC of Libya. NOC is offering access to some of the most prospective offshore and onshore areas in North Africa, backed by extensive G&G data sets and strategic location to infrastructure pipeline for gas and oil. So giving you an overview of this portfolio, NOC is offering 22 offshore and onshore areas, evenly split between the offshore and onshore. So we have 11 areas located in the proven petroleum system in the offshore areas. For example, in the offshore Sabrata, we have the O13 to the west. And then we have 3 areas in the offshore Sirti Basin, the O1A, O1B, and O1C, in addition to the O3. All these are located in the offshore Sirti Basin, and there is several areas are located in the offshore Cyrenaica. Moving to the area are offered in the onshore, We have 3 areas offered in the Gdańsk Basin, 1 area offered in Murzik, 4 in Sirte Basin, and 3 in Cyrenaica platform. So the total coverage of these 22 areas is spanning 235,000 square kilometers, and for the onshore is about 107,000 square kilometers. For the offshore, about 129,000 square kilometers, make it a little bigger than the onshore portion. So let me refer you to the map to introduce you to the different categories NOC is offering in order to suit different investor exploration strategies. NOC has classified these 22 areas into 2 categories. First category is areas are offered for exploration and development, and these are highlighted in green color on the map. So in the offshore we have the O13, and we have the 3 O1 areas, the O1A, O1B, and O1C. In the onshore, we have the 2 areas from the Gdańsk, the G2 and G4, with existing oil and gas discoveries. And the M1 also has 6 oil discoveries in the Murzik Basin, and 1 area in Sirte Basin with gas discovery, in addition to a small discovery in the area S2. So the other category is the area are offered for exploration, which is highlighted by the beige color. So all these areas are strategically located to be within the operational zone that the 167 area currently being operated by 18 different IOCs and NOCs, in order to support any future synergy between the potential investors and the current operational companies. Also, the important feature of these selected 22 areas, their proximity to the existing oil and gas pipelines. This will facilitate any future production and minimize the project timeline. So in total, NOC has identified approximately 1.63 billion barrels of oil equivalent, distributed in 19 discoveries along 9 offshore and onshore areas. There are 7 discoveries in 4 offshore areas and 12 discoveries in 5 onshore areas. Starting with the offshore, O13 located in the Sobrata offshore basin. This area has got 3 oil and gas discoveries, with the biggest amount of discovered resource in place, 730 million barrels of oil. And then we have the O1A, has got 1 oil discovery, with about 53 million barrels of oil in place from the Upper Cretaceous carbonate reservoir. Then we have the B2, O1B also has 1 oil discovery from the Cinnamonian Turonian Upper Cretaceous carbonate reservoir with about 147 million barrels of oil equivalent. Then we have the last O1C, which has also 2 oil and gas discoveries with about 206 million barrels of oil equivalent. The C2 is producing from the Upper Cretaceous silicic classic reservoir, where are the other O1 and O1A and O1B, they are produced from carbonate reservoir. So moving to the onshore areas, starting with the Gdańsk Basin, G2 has got 2 oil and gas discoveries, producing from the Ordovician silicic classic reservoirs, with about 50 million barrels of oil equivalent in place. G4 has also got 2 oil and gas discoveries from the Ordovician silicic classic reservoirs, with about 159 barrels of oil equivalent in place. M1 in the Murzik Basin has got 6 oil discoveries with about 181 barrels of oil. And lastly, not least, the S1 in Sirte Basin has 1 gas discovery with about 100 million barrels of oil equivalent from the Paleocene carbonate reservoirs. So the other important feature about this bid round is the tremendous G&G technical data set that supporting these areas, as we have about 233 wells drilled in these areas, distributed across all these areas. For example, in the 4 areas in Sirte Basin, we have 138 well drills. In the Vidamis Basin, the 3 areas has got 23 oil exploratory wells drilled, and about 22 in the M1 Murzik Basin. About 18 wells drilled in the 3 Cyrenaica areas, and for the 5 offshore areas, 32 wells drilled in those 5 areas. So this robust data set can minimize the exploration risk and accelerate the project timeline. The investors can leverage this data set to do and conduct their own subsurface and geological analysis and unlock the potential, hydrocarbon potential for this area. In summary, NOC is offering 22 bid round areas distributed across onshore and offshore areas. All these areas are strategically located in a proven basins, whether they are offshore and onshore, and they are close and integrated to the gas and oil pipelines within the operational zone where all these international and national companies are efficiently working and exploring. So now I will walk you to these 22 areas one by one. I will be highlighting some key details, for example, their location and the number of wells drilled and the seismic coverage and so on. Starting offshore, O1A, located in the offshore Cyrenaica, its size about 5.6 thousand square kilometers. This area is offered for exploration and development, has got 1 oil discoveries from the Upper Cretaceous carbonate reservoirs. In terms of prospectivity, there are at least 1 prospect and 3 leads are identified, within place ranging 500 million barrels of oil equivalent. Moving to O1B, also this area is offered for exploration and development, has got 1 oil discovery with resources about 147 million barrels of oil from the Upper Cretaceous carbonate reservoirs. The area is strategically located on the margin of the Cyrenaica and Trough, where the proven source kitchen from this the continuation of the onshore of Sirte Basin. In terms of prospectivity, there are at least 3 prospects and 3 leads are identified within place, ranging from 0.7 to 1.5 billion barrels of oil equivalent. Moving to the last O1C area, it is located also in the offshore Sirte along the coastal line. This area is also offered for exploration and development with 2 oil and gas discoveries with in place ranging about 206 million barrels of oil equivalent from the Siliciclastic Upper Cretaceous reservoirs. The area is fairly covered with extensive 2D lines with a very focused 3D program. In terms of prospectivity, there are at least 3 prospects and 3 leads have been identified with in place ranging from 0.7 to 1.5 billion barrels of oil equivalent. Moving to O3. O3 is also located in the offshore Sirte Basin. Its size around 11,000 square kilometers. This area is offered for exploration. However, it is located on the same trend from the onshore area, the Waddan uplift and the Dahra Hufra, the Waddan Graben and Dahra Hufra uplift. This trend is very productive in the counterpart on the offshore, with about 32 oil and gas discoveries, offering around 8.5 billion barrels of oil equivalent. In terms of prospectivity, at least there are 2 prospects and 3 leads are identified in this area, with in place ranging from 1.9 to 3.5 barrel of oil equivalent. Now moving to the areas that are recognized as a new frontier, high impact new frontier with quite deep water setting, starting with the 07. Its size is about 10,000 square kilometers. This area offered for exploration. In terms of 2D coverage, the area is fairly covered edge to edge with a uniform 2D data. About 21 2D seismic data covering 1,700 square kilometers. The portfolio of leads and prospects is quite rich. There are plus 10 leads are already identified with a huge expected estimated in place more than 3 billion barrel of oil equivalent. 08 is also located in the deep water setting, considered to be a new frontier area. Its size also about 10,000 square kilometers. This area is offered for exploration. Also, in terms of 2D covers, is fully covered with a quite dense uniform 2D lines. The prospectivity of the area, there are more than 50 leads are already identified, with estimated in place more than 3.7 billion barrel of oil equivalent. 09, likewise, its size about 10,000 square kilometers, the area offered for exploration. It is fairly covered with 2D seismic data. In terms of prospectivity, at least 4 leads have been already identified, with about 1 billion barrel of oil equivalent in place. 010, it's a little bit bigger than the previous 3 ones, with 12,000 square kilometers. The area is offered for exploration. The coverage of 2D is very sufficient for unlock and do the subsurface evaluation by the investors. At least 1 prospect and more than 11 leads have been identified with total in place ranging more than 2 billion barrel of oil equivalent. Now moving to 013, located in the Subrata offshore basin. This area is offered for exploration and development. Its size is about 28,000 square kilometers, the biggest among the 22 areas offered for this bid round. This area has got 3 oil and gas discoveries with estimated in place 730 million barrel of oil equivalent, the largest volume identified in this bid round. These discoveries were made in the Eocene carbonate nummulitic bank reservoirs. The area strategically located close to the offshore facilities. In terms of seismic data, there are 2 very focused 3D programs, and the area is fully covered edge to edge by a very uniform, quite dense 2D seismic data. The prospect and leads portfolio, at least 3 prospects and 4 leads have been identified, with in place more than 1.5 billion barrel of oil equivalent. 014, it is deep ultra water set. Its size around 10,000 square kilometers, offered for exploration. The area has got 14 2D seismic lines, could be considered as starting point for the subsurface evaluation. However, there are 3 or more than 3 leads have been identified with in place more than 1.5 billion barrel of oil equivalent. The last one in this offshore area is the 015, the smallest among these ultra-deep water setting, with size about 7,000 square kilometers. This area is offered for exploration. Again, there are 6 2D seismic lines widely distributed along this area. The prospect and leads portfolio, there are more than two leads with more than 1 billion barrel of oil equivalent in place. So the aim of this new frontier ultra-deep water setting is to unlock the deep gas potential with analog from the area, the recent discovery A1 and 2 from the area 54, where the estimated in place ranging about 8 TCF of gas, and the production is exceeded 50 million cubic feet per day and 1,500 barrel of oil from these two wells combined. Moving to onshore area, so starting with the Cyrenaica platform, the S3, the area is offered for exploration. Its size ranging about 8,000 square kilometers. 15 oil wells drilled in the area already. The area is extensively covered by 2D and 3D seismic data. In terms of prospects, we've got a very rich portfolio, at least one prospect and 11 leads ready to be upgraded to prospects with a estimated in place more than 500 million barrel of oil equivalent. The area strategically located on the margin between the Cyrenaica platform and the Ijdabiya Trough, which is proven petroleum kitchen responsible for feeding all those giant fields in the vicinity of the area. C4, its size about 7,000 square kilometers. The area is offered for exploration, located in the southern Cyrenaica platform. Only 2 wells drilled so far in this area, is considered to be underexplored. The area fairly covered with the 2D data for the convenience of the investors. This data is provided in multiple digital format, both SIGD and SIGY. So this allows the investors to do their own seismic reprocessing and image enhancing to unlock any potential hydrocarbon potential for these areas. There is at least one prospect and more than 3 leads, with estimated in place about 0.2 billion barrel of oil equivalent. C5, the last area offered in the Cyrenaica offshore. Its size ranging 6.6 thousand square kilometers. The area is offered for exploration. The western part of the area is fully covered by 2D. Also, this 2D is can be offered for multiple digital format, SIGY and SIGD, for the convenience of these investors. The prospectivity, we have at least one prospect, 3 leads with about 0.2 billion barrel of oil equivalent. Moving to the Sirte Basin areas, starting with the S1. S1 size is about 10,000 square kilometers. It is located on the Wahda platform, Hongraben. Very interesting subsurface geological setting where we have the proven source kitchens and the productive uplift trend. The area is covered with the 2D, the eastern part, especially the northern and southern, where these all 11 prospects and 3 leads have been identified already, with at least 0.5 billion barrel of oil equivalent. S2, a little bit bigger than the S1 with about 11,000 square kilometers, is strategically located on 3 very important geological settings in the Sirte Basin. The productive Zoltom platform between 2 proven petroleum systems, the Ijdabiya Trough and Marada Trough. There are 1 prospect and at least 12 leads with about 0.5 billion barrel of oil equivalent in place. S4, this area is offered for exploration and development. There is 1 gas discovery with about 100 million barrel of oil equivalent from the Paleocene carbonate reservoirs. The area is extensively covered by very dense 2D seismic data, sufficient enough for the investors to start their own subsurface evaluation and do the prospect and lead screening. There are at least 7 leads with about 0.3 billion barrel of oil equivalent in place. S7, this area is offered for exploration. Its size about 7,000 square kilometers. The area is strategically located on the Sirir Trough, a proven source kitchen responsible for feeding all those giant fields in the vicinity of this area. In terms of prospectivity, there is at least 1 prospect, 3 leads, within place ranging less than 0.3 billion barrel of oil equivalent. Moving to the west, Gdam Basin, starting with G1 area, located strategically in the heart of this prolific proven petroleum system basin, with the world-class hot shale producing billions of barrels of oil and gas. This area size is 6.5 thousand square kilometers. The area is extensively covered by both 2D and 3D seismic data. The prospectivity is very rich portfolio of more than 30 leads ready to be upgraded to prospects, with estimated in place more than 1 billion barrel of oil equivalent. G2, this area is offered for exploration and development as it contains existing oil and gas discoveries. There are 2 oil and gas discoveries with about 50 million barrel of oil equivalent in place from the Ordovician Siliciclastic reservoirs. Also, there are 3D conducted surveys, and the area is fully covered by very dense 2D seismic data. In terms of prospectivity, there's also rich portfolio of leads and prospects, as we have 1 prospect and more than 10 leads with estimated half billion barrel of oil in place. G4, this area is also offered for exploration and development. There are 2 oil and gas discoveries with about 159 million barrel of oil equivalent producing from the Ordovician Siliciclastic reservoirs. The area is also, especially the southern part of area is covered by extensive 2D seismic data, and the northern part is covered by fairly 2D coverage data. Prospectivity, there are at least 4 leads with estimated in place 1.2 billion barrel of oil equivalent. The M1 area, this area is also offered for exploration and development. There are 6 oil discoveries from the Ordovician Siliciclastic reservoirs. The area is fairly covered with 2D seismic data and one Fox 2D program in the southern western part of the area. There are at least 3 prospects and 3 leads have been already identified with 1.2 billion barrel of oil equivalent in place. In summary, NOC is offering quite unique, high-quality 22 areas, evenly distributed between the offshore and onshore. All these areas are located within proven petroleum system and right above at least one of the world-class source rocks, including the hot shale, Silurian formation, the upper Cretaceous silt in offshore and onshore silt, and the Jurassic source rocks in the offshore area. All these areas strategically located to be within the operational zone of these international and national oil companies that are currently operating smoothly and effectively in the country. All areas are integrated with the oil and gas pipelines, making it easy for the investors to start immediately development and production and reduce the project timeline. So the fiscal term part is going to be covered by Mohammed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mohammed bin Ziglam, and I'm a petroleum economist at NOC Libya. Today, I'll walk you through the upcoming bid round, covering the new fiscal terms, the bidding process, and how winners will be selected. Before we get into the details of this new fiscal terms, let's first understand why we moved from the previous production sharing agreement, EPSA 4, to the new production sharing agreement, PSA. As presented earlier, EPSA 4 played a key role in developing Libya's oil and gas industry, attracting investments, and ensuring steady production. However, with the increased global competition and a need for more flexible terms, we introduced PSA. This new model offers more competitive terms and a simplified framework. One major improvement is the removal of the B factor, which makes profit sharing more attractive to investors. Also, under PSA, investors start receiving profits as soon as revenue is generated. This will improve cash flow, shortens the payback period, and makes investments more attractive to investors. Now let's see how this PSA fiscal model distributes costs and revenues between the investor and NOC. First, the investor is responsible for all petroleum costs, including exploration, capital expenditures, and operating expenditures. Then, once production begins and revenue is generated, a portion of this revenue is allocated for cost recovery. The percentage of cost recovery is already determined and agreed in the contract. If there is any unused cost recovery, it's considered excess cost recovery. This excess is split between the investor and NOC, also based on agreed percentage in the contract. After this excess cost recovery and cost recovery allocation, the remaining revenue is split between the investor and NOC based on R ratio. R ratio determines the contractor share of profit oil. So how to calculate R ratio? R ratio is the contractor's cumulative revenue divided by the contractor's cumulative costs. When R ratio equals 1 or less, the contractor receives a maximum share of profit oil. As shown in this graph, it's only an example. When R ratio equals 1 or less, the contractor receives a maximum share of profit oil, let's say 30%. When R ratio increases between 1 and 2.5, the contractor's profit share gradually decreases on a sliding scale using this straight line interpolation formula. When R ratio equals 2.5 or more, the contractor receives a minimum share of profit oil, or 10% as per this example. And NOC receives the remaining share. Moving on to bid round schedule and bidding process. We have structured a clear and transparent process. This slide indicates the key milestones of this bid round. Bid round was officially launched on March 3rd in Tripoli, followed by a roadshow program that started on March 3rd and continues until today, April the 17th. Then there's a qualification period, which already started on March 4th and will continue until April 21st. Qualified bidders will be announced on May 8th. Qualified bidders will gain access to the data room, which will be opened between May 19th until July 17th. In parallel, there will be a clarification period between May 20th until August 14th. And the last circulation of modified documents will be on August 28th. Bidders will have enough time to prepare their bids, almost 6 months, starting from May 20th until November 14th. The last joining qualified operator or consortium will be on September the 30th. Bid opening, bid submission, bid announcement will all take place on November 15th. This will ensure that the process is transparent. Finally, signing the contracts will be a week after bid announcement, which is between the 22nd and 30th of November. So to qualify for this bid round, companies must apply for qualification between March 4th until April 21st, and companies must meet certain criteria or certain standards, including legal standards and financial standards. For the legal standards, companies must submit a commercial registration certificate in the country of registration. They should also submit an articles of association and bylaws. For the financial standards, companies must submit an audited financial statement for the last 3 years, an annual report for the last 3 years, and a certified report of legal and arbitration cases and any disputes filed against the company by the end of 2024. Companies must also meet technical standards and QHSE standards. For the technical standards, companies must have a proven reserve of at least 250 million barrels of oil equivalent by the end of 2024. Also, companies must have a daily production rate of at least 25,000 barrels of oil equivalent by the end of 2024. Also, companies must have an experience in onshore and deep offshore operation, and they should provide an actual case examples. For the QHSE standards, companies must submit QHSE policy statements established and implemented in all E&P chain. Companies must also submit a certified report shows QHSE results for the last 3 years. Qualified bidders will gain access to the data room, which will be between May 19th until July 17th. Only qualified bidders will gain access to this data room. It's a virtual data room that will include instructions and bidding procedures, commitment letter and form of bid guarantee, technical data, and the PSA model. The fees to enter this data room is $20,000 US, and it must be paid for each contract area. Consortium operator can pay these fees on behalf of consortium members, and the payment must be made using wire transfer to the NOC account. Then there's the clarification period, which is between May 20th until August 14th. Any clarifications or comment must be sent by mail or email between May 20th until August 14th. No comments or clarifications will be accepted after August 14th. Any modified documents will be circulated to bidders no later than August 28th. Bid submission must be done by hand in a sealed envelope in Tripoli on November 15th. The bidding process will be transparent, conducted publicly in the presence of legal representatives. The winners or the winning bidders will be announced the same day by the end of the session. Bidders are also required to submit a bid guarantee on the bid opening date. It should be issued by the Libyan Foreign Bank, and it should be valid from the bid opening date until November 30th. For non-winning bidders, the bid guarantee will be returned to them within a week from the bid opening date. And finally, contract signings will be between the 22nd and 30th of November. Moving on to winner selection criteria, how winners will be selected. Each bid is evaluated based on assigned points. Points are rewarded for increasing the exploration commitment, such as conducting 2D and 3D seismic surveys, drilling exploration wells, and points are also rewarded for reducing the maximum contractor share of profit oil. For existing discoveries, points are rewarded for shortening the submission period of the final field development program. As shown in this table, bidders will receive 10 points for each 1% decrease to the maximum contractor share of profit oil. They will also receive 10 points for each additional 100 kilometer of 2D seismic survey, 20 points for each 50 square kilometer of 3D seismic survey, and 30 points for each additional exploration well. For existing discoveries, companies can receive 100 points for submitting the final field development plan in 2 years, 70 points if the plan was submitted in 3 years, and 30 points if the plan was submitted in 4 years. This is an example of the minimum expected or the minimum required commitment. It's only an example. For example, for this X contract area, the minimum exploration commitment is to conduct 1,000 kilometers of 2D seismic survey, 350 square kilometers of 3D seismic survey, and to drill at least one wildcat. The maximum contractor share of profit oil is 30% and is to submit the final field development plan within 5 years. So, building on the previous slide, the winners will be determined based on their total score. This table presents the scoring mechanism used in evaluating each bid. It's divided into 3 categories: the maximum contractor share of profit oil, exploration commitment, and the development commitment. It also details the bid factors, the bid parameter, NOC offer, contractor offer or contractor bid, and the received score. For example, in this case, we are comparing 2 different companies that placed 2 different offers. For example, for the maximum contractor share of profit oil, NOC offered 30%. Company A offered 25%. That's 5% less than NOC offer. Bidders will receive 10 points for each 1% decrease. So Company A receives 50 points. Company B offered 27%. That's 3% less than NOC offer, so receiving 30 points. For the exploration commitment, NOC offered conducting 1,000 kilometers of 2D seismic survey. Company A offered 1,500. That's 500 above NOC offer. Bidders will receive 10 points for each 100 kilometers of 2D seismic survey, so Company A receives 50 points. Company B offered 2,000 kilometers, so receiving 100 points. Same thing for the 3D seismic survey. NOC offered 350. Company A offered 550 square kilometer. Bidders will receive 20 points for each 50 square kilometer of 3D seismic survey. So Company A receives 80 points, and Company B receives 20 points for offering only 400 square kilometer. For the exploration wells, NOC offer is to drill 1 well. Company A offered drilling 2 wells. So that's 1 well above NOC offer, receiving 30 points. Company B only 1 well, so receiving 0 points. For the development commitment, Company A the development plan in 3 years, receiving 70 points, and Company B offered to submit the program in 2 years, receiving 100 points. So the total score for Company A will be the cumulative score for each segment, which is 280 points. For Company B, the total score is 250 points. That means the winner for this area will be Company A. Our goal is to select a partner that maximizes exploration, accelerate production, and ensure fair resource allocation. the winner will be whoever receives the highest score. In special cases, in case of a draw, if two or more bidders receive the same total score, then bidders must submit a revised offer in a sealed envelope immediately after draw is announced. Then, the bidder with the highest new cumulative score wins the area. In case of a sole bidder, if only one bid is received, then NOC management will decide whether to accept the offer or not. For additional information, you can scan this QR code or visit our website on nocbr.ly, or you can send us an email for any additional inquiries. We are here to ensure you have a smooth and transparent process. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Libya Licensing Bid Round Portal, the official gateway to investment opportunities in Libya's oil and gas sector. This platform is designed to offer seamless access to essential information, ensuring an efficient, transparent, and well-structured bidding process to all qualified companies. The portal provides comprehensive insights into NOC's role in Libya's energy sector, the country's exploration and production landscape, investment opportunities, and explore the interactive map in the bid round section. Users can stay informed with the latest bid round announcements, connect with key contacts for inquiries, and download detailed information about the available exploration and development areas and the bid round process itself. Getting started is easy. On the homepage, follow these steps. Download the publicly available summary brochure of the bid round for a quick introduction to the bid round process and areas on offer. Next is to register on the Licensing Bid Round portal so your company can access additional detailed information about the bid round. Qualified companies can then sign up for the VDR, which will give them access to critical data and other documents, such as the PSA. The registration process is straightforward. Once approved, you will receive an email confirmation with login credentials, unlocking full access to the bid round contents. Once logged in, you will be able to access the general criteria for participation section with key dates, regulatory documents, and templates, as well as a comprehensive technical brochure. In addition, you can also access an interactive map in the NOC Bid Round section, which showcases the available areas for bidding with detailed information. For qualified companies, NOC is providing access to their virtual data room hosted on iEnergy portal. They will receive login credentials for the virtual data room, giving them access to seismic and well data, subsurface insights, and other documents. Dedicated service engineers will provide technical support during bidding data evaluation sessions so that participating companies may perform their work efficiently. This empowers companies to access the virtual data room securely from anywhere in the world, explore opportunities, access critical data, and participate with confidence. Register today and take the next step in Libya's energy sector. Visit www.nocbr.ly to get started.
Thank you very, very much for your presentations. Very in-depth. It's a very well-organized round as well. Very impressive. I've seen many rounds, but that much detail and attention. Very congratulations, honestly. So this is a time for the Q&A. So I would like to invite the bid round committee and speakers to join me on stage. And I will encourage each and everyone to address their questions to the panel. Thank you very much. Our team has a microphone. Just raise your hand. You know how it goes. Raise your hand. You can state your name. That would be easier for the NOC. And address your question. Team, you ready with the microphones? Perfect. Thank you very much. Excellent. So, is there, can we start with the questions? Any questions on technical, on legal, on fiscal, commercial terms? The portal is very straightforward. I love this when it happens. So this is all covered, no question? Please. Karam? Yes, yes. Karam, thank you.
Just two questions. One is very simple. Today is 17th of April, and the qualification will be ended in 4 days. Do they think to do extension? An extension for the qualification process for the deadline. And the second question is for the gas, are there any capacities for the explored gas for the pipeline to Turkey?
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. I will address the question number one. Of course, so many things can be changed and adjusted, but you know, the process has to go to a certain stage where you can find a way how to address all the concerns. During the last road shows and during the correspondence of the registration and the demand and requests, we received a lot of requests and demand to extend the period. In fact, we intended to present the presentation as it is without any adjustments to have a consistent presentation for the all road shows. And today we will call it the Istanbul announcement. We are answering those requests by all the investors during the communication, either during the road shows or during the emails through the portal. We announced that there will be an extension as an answer for those requests for the closing date to 5th of May 2025. And for the next question, maybe I leave Mr. Bashir.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're asking if we have a pipeline would be built to Turkey to export the gas. Is this your question? Well, as for our plans, there's no any plan. The only gas pipeline that we currently have operating is the Green Stream, which goes from Libya to Italy. But there's other means of exporting gas to other parts of the world, for example, Turkey or any other countries, through LNGs, because you've seen that we have an LNG plant, and this is the sort of things that we're going to have. But building a pipeline, I don't think it's not in the strategy of NOC right now.
Thank you very much. Another question? Gentlemen, there are two gentlemen over there as well. Perfect. And there are another two. Sorry.
Hello. Thank you for a nice presentation. Well, I see that there was no block mentioned in the Kufra Basin. Any specific reason? There is no block mentioned offered in the Kufra Basin. And secondly, yeah, you can answer one question.
No plan. I mean to add. If I understand the question about Kufra, you are asking. No plan now to include any area from Kufra, but as the Dr. Khalifa said earlier, this will be, I think, a work done in the future, inshallah, and maybe in a different way, not in a bid round, yes.
Maybe I can just, if there's any company, interest to conduct any study, more welcome. We can provide them with the data and we can sign a MOU with them.
I'm sorry, please hold the microphone a bit closer because we couldn't hear you very well.
Okay, sorry. In Kufra there is no, blocks now, but any company is interested to conduct any, G&G study, they are more welcome. And we can provide them with the data and we can sign a MOU with them.
Thank you.
If I may add, my colleagues during the presentation presented that NOC is carrying out a major, comprehensive, detailed study about the yet to find for all the basins, including Kufra. So that's why right now Kufra is still under this study, and the outcome of this study will be more elaborative parameters to consider it in the future.
Thank you. And And second question, what is the expected range of well cost for the shallow offshore and deep offshore in Libya? Well cost, range well cost.
Cost.
Cost of the
For
well.
offshore. Mhm.
I mean, I'm talking about the drilling cost for drilling a well in Libya in deep offshore.
Yeah, I think for the onshore, $1,000 per foot. I know, this is what. But for the offshore, I think more. I cannot recall now.
Drilling onshore and offshore Libya, is asking about the cost of drilling an exploration well.
Yes, yes.
We have, from our past experience, we drilled wells for 250 millions. We drilled wells for 60 million only. So it depends on the the depth of that well, the intensive, for example, evaluation programs. So if you talk about the rig daily rate, you're talking about not less than $500,000 per day. So normally it's not going to be less than 60 millions per well.
And last question, sorry.
No, please, that's what we're here for.
You know, during the fiscal, you have shown the diagram, it was mentioned that, you know, from the revenue, there should be a percentage of the cost recovery. So what would be the percentage approximate? Thank you.
I think you've seen Mohammed presented the new fiscal terms that we have. Actually, the 100% productions is going to be split between cost, a certain percentage that will differ area by area. So when you are qualified as an operator or whatever, you'll have access to the virtual data room, and whatever areas of interest, you will see all the details. So it differs. So this cost recovery is going to be from day one, will be allocated to the second party to recover all his costs. The portion from the 100% of production will be allocated for profit share. So we have, I give an example. If we allocated 40% for the cost recovery for the second party, he will recover all his costs, CapEx and OpEx, make sure that in this model, actually, we're going to have the second party financing, even the development. In NOC will not join in the development cost like in the past under the EPSA, we pay 50% for the CapEx and the OpEx based on the allocated shares. This time, we're going to have the second party financing 100%. This is why we have, like, for example, if we give him 40% for cost recovery, he will be able to recover his costs in a very short time. The payback time will be 3 years, let us say. And then whatever excess after the cost recovery, he's going to have a percentage of that as well. Then the profit share, which is, for example, the 100% NUGS minus the 40, so that we're talking about 60%. So we're given maximum 30% of that 60%. So the second party, at the early days where he's not making a lot of profits, he will be getting at least 18% of the hundreds. Okay, and this number decrease as the ratio, the ratio between his cumulative revenues and cumulative expenditures increase. So we'll go down, for example, if we say 10%, then my times the 60, we'll be getting 6%. So on average, I would expect that the second party will be making at least 15% profits plus cost recovery from day one. This is the advantage of this one. This is a good change. The second party, all he cares about booking reserves. So he can only book reserves from the profits. He cannot book reserves from the expenditures. So this is the change that we are adopting for this bid round.
Thank you. We had, I saw two more gentlemen there.
السلام عليكم. كامل الجطلاوي عضو المجلس الأعلى للدولة اللجنة المالية والاقتصادية. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله كل خير على اللقاء وبالتوفيق إن شاء الله. لاحظت أثناء التقييم عرض الأستاذ زقلام نقطتين، يعني رجعتنا بالبيد راوند، هذا البيد راوند لبسه فور أيام الدكتور شكري غانم الله يغفر له ويرحمه. فعندنا نحن نقطتين يا ريت يعني اللجنة تركز عليهم في التقييم. يعني النقطة الأولى اللي هو دعم المستثمر الأجنبي يعني للتعامل مع القطاع الخاص الليبي. يعني عندنا عرض نقود في ليبيا بقيمة 60 مليار دولار، وعندنا عجز مالي تقريبا أكثر من 200 مليار دينار ليبي. فسحب هذه الأموال في مشروعات التنمية مع مستثمرين أجانب مع القطاع الخاص الليبي يحفزهم. فالنقطة هذه يا ريت يعني تكون يعني تركزوا عليها مع الشركاء الأجانب المحتملين بإذن الله. يعني النقطة الثانية اللي في التقييم الدعم السياسي. الدعم السياسي مهم يعني صراعنا داخلي أكثر من هو صراعنا خارجي أكثر من هو الكبيرة اللي تأثر أن على الأقل الدولة اللي تبي تدعمنا سياسيا وبتدعم استقرار ليبيا سياسيا تكون تلاحظوها في التقييم، يعني مش كيف الدول الأخرى. يعني بارك الله فيك. شكرا.
Let me just translate exactly what the gentleman is asking. He's asking the part of the local contribution to these bid rounds, okay? And my colleague will answer these questions. The other thing is to give priorities to those countries who have like political ties with the country. I think this is purely technical. We're not here to discuss any political ties, but definitely, I mean, those companies who are interested to invest, even if you don't have political ties today, you can build political ties through the investments. So,
for the first questions, was talking about the local contents and the local companies. For the first questions, for the local content and the local companies, we already covered this in the contract itself for the in the agreements. So we gave a priority for the local contents and for local companies to be joined and give a priority in doing the work with the investors. So we cover this and we take it in consideration. Thank you for your questions.
It is part of the agreement, so it's included.
Thank you. We have another gentleman at the back, Salma. Yes, I see you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your presentation. Presentation was mainly about oil exploration for the upstream. Is there any plan for the midstream and downstream, like the crude oil processing facility or gas processing facilities?
Thank you very much. As you know, the title of this roadshow is Exploration Investment Opportunities, Exploration and Development Investment Opportunities. So we're only focusing on attracting international oil operating companies to come into Libya and resume activities. It's been 16 years now, or almost 17 years, where we have done nothing in terms of roadshows like this. So it is mainly for exploration and productions.
Thank you.
Two questions on the same table, as convenient.
Thank you very much for a good presentation of what looks to be an exciting bid round, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interest. Two questions. The first one is, would you accept bids from consortiums of different companies, not a single company? And how would the process be different? And the second question is, on the criteria, it seems like you give 100 points for accelerating a field development plan, but only 30 points for an additional well. So if a company doesn't drill any additional wells and provides a development plan within 2 years, isn't there risk that they would be not maybe providing the most optimum development plan, and you're incentivizing not reducing uncertainty from a subsurface standpoint? So I think it's a point worth considering, because accelerating development doesn't necessarily mean it's an improving development plan. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Regarding the consortiums, we have two types of consortiums. Either you companies get the consortiums and apply as a consortium from the beginnings, which they are already agreed and they have decided to come together and submit their documents together. It will be okay, but provide that the leader, he has to be operators and meet all the criteria. All the criteria.
The leader does, or everybody?
The leader, he has to meet all the technical criteria and other criteria. For the others, the part of the consortiums, we may meet the other criteria rather than the technical criteria. If he hasn't got enough reservoir reserves or enough production, as is mentioned here, he might be accepted as investors. But he has to meet the financial criteria and other criteria. He has to submit his documents, and he will be subjected to qualification also with the team leader. For the second consortium, which can be established after the pre-qualification or the qualifications within the group of the companies who are already qualified, they may agree to come and establish a consortium between each other. So that's also it will be acceptable because they already qualified. All are in the same list of the qualified companies. So they can establish a provider that's the leader. He has to be met all the criteria as the previous consortium we have explained to you. So in two cases, that's the leader. The operator he has to meet all the criteria. Thank you.
Yeah, I think for the second question, yes, I think if heard Mohammed's explaining the winner selection criteria, we classified them into three groups: the production share, part of production share of the profit oil, the exploration work program, and the development plans. So, for example, in the development plans, yes, if a company submit their field development plans within 2 years, we'll be getting 100 points. And the field development plan has to be very detailed, including appraisal drilling, development wells, and all these things. So it's a huge program, not just a field development plan. Okay. The other thing, if you look at the example that presented by Mohammed, although one company gets scored 100 points on the submission of field development plan, but was not announced the winner. The winner was the company A, which is submitted more drilling program in the exploration. So it's a balancing scoring points technique.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's very helpful, because I think, encouraging additional wells, obviously, to reduce subsurface uncertainty is the right thing. And drilling those wells takes time. So integrating the results into an FDP, takes more time. So as you said, it's a balancing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the intention of NOC in this bid round not to even the signature bonus was not part of the parameters this time. We actually interested to see companies perform work programs. We need to drill wells, acquire seismic to explore the potential of these areas. This is our priorities. So we are focusing on that. That's for sure.
Yeah, fully agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I add, even these points, when we put them, we studied carefully, and we did a lot of exercise for this. We don't throw it like this. We did a lot of homework to come to these points. So we be sure that we did our good job to reach to these points. We know what we have doing.
Before we go to the next question, can I remind everyone to state the name and to introduce themselves? So can we go back and it's just on the same table, and then I will ask for everyone to go back and introduce themselves, please.
Yeah, apologies. My name is Anis Robana. I'm the head of subsurface with Guinea Energy.
I will, don't worry. That's easy. No one's going out. We've locked the doors, don't worry. Next question, then we will go back to the others. Thank you.
My name is محمد الهمالي مكتب الزحاف المحاماة والاستشارات القانونية. I'd like to thank you for the presentation today, and thank you for your efforts, and I hope that this bid round is successful. I have two legal questions, and it follows on from the new PSA model that you described and outlined in your presentation. And also to Mr. Bashir Gra'a, you mentioned that the IOC will be in charge of, or he will bear all the costs, including exploration, development, appraisal, capex and opex. So my question is this: with the previous EPSA 4 agreement, considering that the capex and opex were shared between the IOC and the NOC, I understand that the management committee, for the petroleum operations are, when you reach the stage of production, the petroleum operations are conducted by a joint operating company, and then there's a management committee that consists of 2 members from the NOC and 2 members from the IOC. Now, considering that the IOC is going to be in charge of all the costs related to exploration, production, development, etc., I wanted to know whether the new PSA model had any change to the management structure of the operator. And not only that, would a joint operating company need to be established to conduct petroleum operations, or would the IOC be able to appoint their own operator without establishing a joint operating company and including their NOC in the management? So I hope that question is clear, and I could clarify if necessary.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think definitely, because now we have the second party to finance the projects, definitely the management structure will be different. It's not like what it was under the EPSA, that's for sure. And this is very well explained and covered under the contract model. Okay, so the second party or the company qualified to enter the data room will have access to the detailed contract models for the area of his interest, where he can read all these clauses, and that will be discussed, of course, if we, as NOC, agree to any changes or recommendations, as Mr. Mohammed and Baid explained, will be circulated to all the qualified companies, and will make the right changes. But it is covered under the contractual terms of the new PSA, yes.
Another question? This side has been very active. This side has been quite silent. Salma, if that's okay, can we go to, you have a question? Perfect.
So high appreciation for your roadshow here in Istanbul. I'm from MPSA, Chinese companies.
We can't hear you very well. If you could speak up, just speak up.
Okay.
It's working. Just speak up a bit.
Thank you. So I come from MPSA, Chinese national companies. And I have 2 questions. Firstly, you have 2 period time for exploration period time that all the investment will be bearing by only IOCs. And during development period time, once you have economic discoveries and you are going to build this kind of joint ventures, the first question is that during the development period time, all the cost will be bearing only by IOC or from both IOC and NOC? This is the first question. Secondly, if the cost recovery, based on methodology with a formula, if the cost recovery percentage is not enough for all the investment and cost, so I mean the carry forward will be suspended for the future period time, or have another ways to reimbursement? Thank you.
Well, I think the first questions I just explained to the gentleman, okay, how it's going to be the management structure of the projects after either, if in the case of exploration, declare commercial discoveries, and in case of development areas with development as well, how it's going to be like the GOC and how it's going to be managed. I think for the cost recovery, as I said, it's area by area. It's different, you know. I mean, we took this into consideration because we know that if you're drilling deep offshore, the cost of developments will be much higher. So definitely, you're not going to give low cost recovery, okay? Although eventually he'll be recovering his cost. Of course, depends on the size of discoveries will be made. Okay, but of course, each company will be doing their own due diligence, technical due diligence, and select the areas that they feel they has some potentials. Of course, exploration risk is always there. And we know that. I mean, it doesn't mean if you evaluate and you think there is a prospectivity, you go and find the well, discovery gas or oil. Maybe not, but you'll be taking this as a risk factor. But the cost recovery for the challenging areas that requires a lot of capital cost, definitely we are locating a higher cost recovery than the areas that we feel, because from our experience in the areas, we drilled so many wells, we developed so many fields, we know how much the cost of development will be. So we're taking this into considerations. Okay.
Thank you very much. A question right there. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am representing Strabag. It's a large European construction group. Thank you for today's presentation, which are great. And we see there's a lot of opportunities in Libya. And there's a great plan for Libya's economic future. We, as Strabag, wish you a great success with this bid round and for all what's coming up in the next years. Libya is a great country with lovely people. But, however, we have a binding court decision in favor of my company, Strabag, against the state of Libya.
Is this a technical
I'm talking
question?
about an amount of more than $100 million.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is a technical question session.
No.
Is that a technical question?
That's a legal question.
That's not the panel then. It's not about the bidding round. So may
I
I
thought
recommend that you could discuss it offline? That's the
All
right
right.
way. If it has nothing to do with the data we just seen, then it's not suitable for this panel,
It's
right?
a legal background of Libya, and if there's a kind of rule of law in Libya.
I strongly recommend to discuss this offline. Thank
Okay.
you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Masana.
Any other question? Perfect. So I give just one last minute for anyone to decide whether they have there's one last question, Karam, if you don't mind. There will be a networking break, so you can address all these questions offline. And lots of time.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Arshad Hussain Palekar from Pakistan Petroleum Limited, Pakistan. For field development plan, there are 3 categories, 2, 3, and 5. So if somebody qualifies after, for contesting for 2 years, but for some unforeseen reason, he is or the company unable to submit the FDP. So what are is there any consequences or any penalties? Is the question? Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. Actually, thank you for your questions. Actually, for all the commitments, exploration or development commitments, there is numbers put there. That's if you can't commit it, and that's for a normal situations, not something like force majeure or something. There's a kind of penalty, or we don't like to say penalties, but some to compensate the NOC for that. So it's not free like this. That's if you don't submit it, that's you go on free. There's something committed for that.
I think, we discussed this among us because it's not fair that a company offered to submit the field development plan in 2 years, score high points, win the blocks, and then stand or sit on it for 3 or 5 years, not submission. That will be, of course, be penalized. It's a penalty, because otherwise, if we don't do that, we are not really be transparent and fair to others. So definitely, it's going to be financial exposures that this company has to pay in delaying submission of the field development plan. As he committed, because this is a commitment from him. Okay.
It's clear, right? Perfect. Any last question? Great. Okay. Thank you all very, very much for the presentation, also for the Q&A. At the same time, I want to invite everyone. There is now a networking hour where you can grab a cup of coffee. There are meeting rooms. Sorry. Of course, of course.
Sorry, as we started at the beginning that we are going to consider all the concerns and requests, so we will update the timeline and we'll publish it through the portal for the bid round. Thank you very much and appreciate your presence and your interest and your questions as well. looking forward to participate in the bid round and see who is going to win. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Abdul Nasser. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for your efforts for the bid round. Really well done. Exceptionally thorough, because there's something like I really need to congratulate, because we see a lot of licensing rounds, bidding rounds. They're not that thorough. They're not that transparent. They're not. There are information. Okay, come and talk to us. This is fantastic. Really, congratulations. Anyone who wants to discuss with the NOC, their team is on the ground. They're happy to take questions privately. There are 3 meeting rooms on the side to grab one if you prefer. Coffee served outside, and lunch in approximately 45 minutes, -1 at the Mimosa room. Thank you all very much, Teşekkürler, for the and shukran for your participation. And we hope to see you in Libya, and we're open to welcome your business. Thank you. Thank you so much.
birds are calling and I'm feeling alright. I like to stay up late at night, and when I see the neon lights are shining, I come alive. I like to drink a cappuccino, take a walk into the park and watch the world go on by. I like to sip a caipirinha while I'm looking through my wardrobe, getting ready tonight. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it, like it. I never like to be late, and if you make me wait, I think you're wasting my time. You know I like to take a while, I'll be browsing up and down before I make up my mind. I like to get away sometimes and leave the city life behind, and if it's just for a day. I like to lead a social life, be at the latest opening night where everyone knows my name. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it, like it. Yeah. 'Cause I like to stay up late at night, and when I see the neon lights are shining, I come alive. I like to drink a cappuccino, take a walk into the park and watch the world go on by. I like to sip a caipirinha while I'm looking through my wardrobe, getting ready tonight. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. And when all is said and done, that's the way I like it, like it. sem esperar. Madrugada chegou, eu vou sorrir, eu vou cantar, sonhar.